trickster loves messing in relationships when love becomes a game. Carl Jung saw him first, the trickster, that shape-shifting shadow dancing through your relationships, planting seeds of doubt while you sleep. Machiavelli knew him as the fox who smiles while bleeding you dry. Buddha recognized him as the ego's favorite puppet master, spinning attachment into suffering. And the Stoics? They understood him as the ultimate test of your rational fortress. Today, these four titans will guide you through the trickster's most beloved playground, your intimate bonds, where trust becomes the weapon he wields against you. Picture this. Your partner comes home late again. The explanation feels off. Details shift. Timelines blur. When you press, suddenly you're the paranoid one, the anxious wreck imagining problems that don't exist. That gut twist you feel? That's the trickster at work, and by this talk's end, Jung will show you how he's actually your own shadow-made flesh. Machiavelli will teach you to spot the fox's tracks before you're bleeding. Buddha will reveal why your attachment feeds him, and the Stoics will forge your unshakable center. Stay for their fireside weave, a round-table synthesis where these ancient minds clash and converge, building your unbreakable edge. If this stirs you, hit like, join the quiet revolution. Pain, agitation, build. The trickster doesn't announce himself. He arrives wearing the face you trust most. Meet Sarah, 28, an Altoona marketing exec. 6 months into her relationship, small lies appeared. Texts deleted, stories shifting. When she questioned it, her partner turned philosopher. Why are you so insecure? This is about your past trauma, not me. Within weeks, Sarah stopped trusting her own memory. She'd find herself apologizing for noticing inconsistencies, rewriting her reality to match his narrative. Or consider Marcus, 42, divorced dad in Phoenix. His new partner seemed perfect, attentive, caring, until the triangulation began. Subtle mentions of exes who still check in. Comments about attractive colleagues who just get me. Marcus found himself competing for attention in his own relationship, his worth measured by jealousy's bitter calculus. The trickster loves creating phantom rivals, turning love into a game where you're always losing. Then there's Yuki, 55, Tokyo accountant rebuilding after a long marriage. Her adult children suddenly seemed distant. Holidays felt tense. Her new partner had gradually positioned himself as the interpreter of family dynamics. They don't understand what we have. They're threatened by your happiness. Isolation dressed as protection, the trickster's masterpiece. By the time Yuki realized she'd been triangulated against her own family, years had evaporated into manufactured conflict. These aren't random misfortunes. They're patterns. The trickster operates through what researchers now call prediction error manipulation, deliberately creating situations where your expectations violate reality, then framing your confusion as your failure. He hijacks the brain's learning systems, turning trust into a weapon. And here's the gutting truth. It could happen to anyone. Recent studies confirm there's nothing inherently vulnerable about victims, just trust placed in the wrong hands. Do I see you nodding? Comment your storm. Let's lighten it together. Jung, the shadow's favorite mask. Jung understood something radical. The trickster isn't just out there in your partner or friend. He lives in your own unconscious, that primitive layer of psyche barely evolved past animal cunning. When someone gaslights you, they're channeling an archetype as old as consciousness itself, the undifferentiated chaos that predates moral development. But here's the twist that changes everything. Your response to the trickster reveals your own shadow. Why do certain manipulations hook you while others slide past? Jung would ask, what old wound does this trigger? When Sarah doubted her memory, she was reliving childhood dynamics where her perceptions were constantly invalidated. When Marcus competed for scraps of attention, he was replaying unworthiness learned decades ago. The external trickster finds the internal one. Shadow, recognizing shadow. Jung's Shadow Integration Toolkit. Daily Shadow Journal, 5 minutes. When you feel gaslit or manipulated, write, what old echo does this trigger? Then, what part of me wants to believe the lie? Track patterns. Sarah discovered her need to be the easy, understanding girlfriend made her ignore red flags. That people-pleasing shadow was the trickster's doorway. The projection test. When your partner accuses you of exactly what they're doing, that's classic trickster projection. Ask yourself, am I being shown their shadow? Then flip it. What shadow of mine makes me vulnerable to this projection? Maybe your fear of abandonment makes you accept crumbs. The reality anchor ritual. Keep voice memos documenting conversations when things feel off. Not to catch someone, but to trust your reality. Jung knew the trickster thrives in memory's fog. Your recorded voice becomes witness to your truth. Integration. Dialogue. Write a letter to the trickster, inside and out. Dear Shadow, I see you in their deceptions and my willingness to be deceived. What are you trying to teach me? This isn't forgiveness, it's reconnaissance. Jung believed the trickster holds healing potential once you stop running from him. The inflation detector. Notice when someone makes you feel simultaneously special and worthless. You're the only one who understands me, followed by, you're too sensitive within days. That's the trickster puncturing ego inflation, but maliciously. A healthy version would be genuine growth, not manipulation. Take Dev, 35, Manchester software architect. After discovering his partner's systematic lying, he began shadow work instead of just ending it. He found his own trickster, the parts that loved being the rescuer, that needed someone broken to fix. His shadow had attracted its match. Recognizing this, Dev changed not just partners, but patterns. 6 months later, he spotted trickster energy in a new date within 3 conversations and walked away clean. From fracture to fire, that's your gold. Sparks? Subscribe. Unlock more shadow illumination. Machiavelli. Reading the Fox's Playbook. Where Jung explores depth, Machiavelli demands strategy. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few feel what you are, he wrote. The trickster's genius lies in appearance management, and your survival depends on becoming fox enough to spot another fox. Machiavelli understood triangulation before psychology named it. In The Prince, he detailed how rulers maintain power by keeping rivals uncertain, balancing factions, creating competition. The trickster in relationships uses identical tactics, phantom competitors, manufactured drama with friends or family, you against the world narratives that isolate while appearing protective. Machiavelli's strategic defense. The pattern map, weekly exercise, chart incidents like a spy. When do stories change? After you've committed further? Post-conflict when you're emotionally raw? Machiavelli taught that power reveals itself through pattern, not individual acts. Marcus in Phoenix kept a simple log. Date, incident, his partner's explanation, his gut feeling. Within 3 weeks, the pattern screamed. Manipulation spiked right after Marcus expressed uncertainty about commitment. The third-party verification. Machiavelli never relied on single sources. If someone tells you friends/family have concerns about you, verify directly. The trickster creates information monopolies. They said X about you with no proof. Call their bluff by checking. Yuki discovered her partner lied about her children's concerns. One conversation shattered months of manipulation. The controlled confrontation. Don't accuse. Set tests. Mention remembering an event differently. See if gaslighting intensifies or they adjust. A Machiavellian move. Document a conversation, then weeks later, reference it. Genuine people admit memory fuzziness. Tricksters double down on their revision because they've already forgotten their own lies. The exit strategy. Machiavelli's cardinal rule. Never show your hand until you're ready to act. If you suspect systematic manipulation, plan your exit in silence. Gather resources, documents, support. The moment a trickster knows you're leaving, their tactics escalate. Sarah waited until she had apartment deposit and supportive friends in place before confronting. Clean break, no negotiation. The ally audit. He who neglects what is done for what ought to be done learns his ruin. Machiavelli knew foxes isolate their prey. Map your relationships. Who's been pushed away? Tricksters systematically eliminate anyone who might offer reality checks. Rekindling those connections isn't just emotional support, it's strategic protection. Consider Aisha, 31, London nurse. Her partner brilliantly positioned himself as the misunderstood genius others couldn't appreciate. Machiavellian analysis revealed the pattern. Every friend who questioned the relationship was reframed as jealous or small-minded. Aisha's ally audit showed she had lost 7 close friendships in 18 months, each departure rationalized by her partner's narrative. Reconnecting with one friend broke the spell. External perspective shattered the trickster's monopoly on truth. But strategy, sans heart, that's where Buddha steps in, softening Machiavelli's steel with compassion that still cuts clean. Fire building. Subscribe. More Foxfire wisdom awaits. Buddha. Why attachment is the trickster's feast. Buddha sits with the mess and asks, why does the trickster find such fertile ground in love? Because attachment, that clinging, grasping, need-based connection, is suffering's favorite seed. You're not actually loving the person, you're loving your idea of them, your fear of loneliness, your hope they'll complete the incomplete parts of you. The trickster knows this and feeds. When you're attached to the relationship, you'll rationalize anything to keep it. Buddha saw clearly. Attachment is the root of suffering. Not love, attachment. The difference? Love allows reality. Attachment demands reality conform to desire. Buddha's liberation tools. The impermanence meditation, 10 minutes daily. Sit quietly. Visualize your relationship not as permanent foundation, but as temporary meeting of two changing beings. Neither good nor bad, just impermanent. When Sarah practiced this, her fear of losing the relationship dissolved. What was there to lose if it was already changing every moment? This paradoxically gave her strength to enforce boundaries. Metta for the trickster. Loving kindness practice, but radical. Send compassion to the person manipulating you, not for them, for you. May you find peace. May you stop causing harm. May you heal whatever wound makes you wound others. This isn't doormat spirituality. It's releasing the poison of hatred that only hurts you. Resentment keeps you chained. Metta is the lockpick. The attachment audit. Buddhist practice distinguishes attachment from connection. Write down why you stay. If answers include, I've invested so much time, I can't bear to be alone, they promise to change. That's attachment. Connection sounds like, this enhances my growth. We support each other's autonomy. I choose this freely. Marcus realized he wasn't attached to his partner, but to not feeling like a divorced failure again. Non-reactivity. Training. When gaslit, the typical response is emotional flooding. Defend, explain, prove. Buddha teaches, pause, breathe. Watch the manipulation like a scientist observing phenomenon. This doesn't mean accept it. It means respond consciously, not reactively. Yuki learned to say simply, "I notice we remember this differently," then stop explaining. No, JADE. Justify, argue, defend, explain. Tricksters feed on your desperate attempts to be understood. The enough practice, daily affirmation. Rewiring the scarcity mindset tricksters exploit. I am enough. My perceptions are valid. My needs matter. I can survive alone. Buddha knew suffering comes from believing you need external validation. When you're enough, manipulation loses power. Take Wei, 49, Singapore teacher. After years in a gaslighting marriage, Buddhist practice showed him his attachment to being the good husband was stronger than his commitment to truth. That attachment to identity, to social approval, to not facing divorce's shame, kept him accepting lies. When attachment loosened, clarity emerged. He left not in anger but in peace, the ultimate victory over the trickster. But peace without fortitude is fragile. The Stoics build the fortress Buddha empties. From suffering to liberation, that's the path. Ready? Subscribe for more Dharma-driven freedom. 1230. The Stoics, building the unshakable core. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayals that make modern relationship drama look quaint. Advisors plotting assassination, his wife rumored to conspire against him. His response? Strengthen the only thing truly his rational mind, his virtue, his capacity to respond with wisdom regardless of external chaos. Seneca, exiled by emperors, wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a person perfected without trials." The trickster in your relationships is the friction, and Stoicism is the polish. The Stoic arsenal. The dichotomy of control. Every morning, classify everything in your life. Your thoughts, intentions, character, and your control. Your partner's honesty, others' opinions, relationship outcomes, not in your control. When Sarah felt crazy for noticing inconsistencies, Stoic practice reminded her, "My perception is mine to trust. Their honesty is theirs to give or withhold." She controlled her response, leaving, not their behavior. Premeditatio malorum, negative visualization. Imagine worst-case scenarios, not to catastrophize, but to prepare. What if this person is manipulating me? What if I have to start over? Seneca taught this removes fear's power. Marcus practiced it weekly. What if I leave and am alone? I've survived alone before. What if they escalate? I'll have a safety plan. When fear loses shock value, tricksters lose leverage. The view from above, cosmic perspective training. Marcus Aurelius would visualize Earth from space. All human drama, tiny, temporary. When gaslit, practice this. In 100 years, no one alive today exists. This pain, this manipulation, this relationship, all dust. What truly matters? Not to minimize suffering, but to restore proportion. Your dignity matters. Your truth matters. Their lies, temporary noise. Virtue as North Star. Stoics had 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. When confused by trickster chaos, ask, what would wisdom do? What does justice demand? What does courage look like here? What's the temperate response? For Yuki, wisdom meant seeing clearly. Justice meant protecting her children from triangulation. Courage meant ending a new relationship before it deepened. Temperance meant not seeking revenge, just clean exit. The evening review. Before sleep, review your day through Stoic lens. Did I respond to manipulation with reason or emotion? Did I maintain my integrity? What could I do better tomorrow? Not self-flagellation, growth-oriented assessment. This practice builds the observer self, the part immune to gaslighting because it maintains constant reality contact. Javier, 38, Sydney architect, used Stoic training to rebuild after a relationship where financial gaslighting nearly bankrupted him. His partner systematically convinced him his budgeting concerns were controlling and ungenerous. Premeditatio malorum had him creating secret savings. Dichotomy of control helped him detach from the chaos. When he left, he had resources and clarity. 2 years later, he's teaching friends these same tools. The Stoics understood. You can't control the trickster's appearance in your life, but you control whether he makes a home there. Fortitude Forged. Subscribe. Join the Stoic resistance. The Round Table Synthesis, when titans clash and converge. Imagine a fireplace, 4 chairs, night outside. Inside, Jung lights his pipe, Machiavelli pours wine, Buddha sits serene, Marcus Aurelius stands by the flames. You've just asked, how do I know if I'm the trickster? Jung leans forward, eyes bright. Ah, the question that terrifies most. You're the trickster whenever you lie to yourself about your motives. When you manipulate not from conscious strategy, but unconscious wound. When you gaslight yourself, I'm not jealous, I'm just concerned when you're actually controlling. The shadow doesn't announce itself, it wears your face. Machiavelli swirls his wine, amused. Jung makes it mystical. I'll make it practical. You're the trickster when you use people as means to ends without their consent. When you create false realities to maintain advantage. Not all manipulation is shadow. Sometimes it's conscious cruelty. Don't let psychology excuse villainy. Buddha smiles softly, both true yet incomplete. You're the trickster whenever you act from ego, from that false self that fears its own emptiness. The manipulator and manipulated share this, both grasping, both suffering. The difference? Awareness. One sees the grasping, one doesn't. Your question suggests you see it. That's already liberation's beginning. Marcus turns from the flames. Gentlemen, we circle the same truth differently. The trickster is whoever abandons virtue for external goods, approval, control, avoiding pain. Whether you manipulate others or let them manipulate you, you've forgotten the only thing that matters, your character. And character is choice, moment by moment. Jung nods. Yet Marcus, don't we need the trickster's lessons? Every gaslighter I've known taught their victim something crucial about self-trust. The pain was real, but so was the growth. Machiavelli raises an eyebrow. Growth is no excuse for tolerating wolves. Yes, learn from the fox, but don't invite him to dinner twice. Jung, your psychology sometimes forgets. Some people are just predators, not wounded shadows, conscious manipulators who laugh at integration work. Buddha interjects, and yet those predators suffer most. Their manipulation comes from deepest delusion, believing happiness lives in control. Compassion doesn't mean tolerating abuse, Machiavelli. It means seeing clearly while acting wisely. Leave the trickster, but don't become one through bitter revenge. Marcus strikes the synthesis. So, Jung shows us the mirror. Know your own shadow, so you're not blind to others. Machiavelli arms us. Recognize patterns, plan strategically, protect practically. Buddha liberates us. Release attachment to outcomes. Practice non-reactivity. And I say, build character that no trickster can crack. Integrate the shadow, wield the strategy, release the attachment, forge the virtue. This is your unbreakable core. The 4 men look at you across the flames. Jung, the trickster appears whenever you need a teacher you didn't want. Machiavelli, and he'll keep appearing until you learn the lesson. Buddha, the lesson is always the same. Return to yourself. Marcus, to the self you choose to be, not the self you fear you are. The unified takeaway. The trickster in relationships is simultaneously external threat and internal teacher. He exploits shadows you haven't integrated, attachment you haven't released, strategies you haven't learned, virtues you haven't embodied. Your defense isn't a single approach, but a synthesis. Jungian awareness, Machiavellian acuity, Buddhist release, Stoic integrity. Together, these four make you untrickable, not by building higher walls, but by becoming someone who no longer attracts or tolerates manipulation. Final affirmation and call. This fire's in you, always has been. Every time you felt that gut twist and ignored it, your inner truth spoke. Every boundary you didn't enforce taught you its cost. Every time you stayed when you should have left, you learned what self-betrayal feels like. The trickster's ultimate gift? Making self-trust non-negotiable. You're not damaged for having been manipulated. You're not weak for having trusted. You're human for having attachment. And you're wise now for seeing clearly. Take Jung's mirror, Machiavelli's strategy, Buddha's release, Marcus's spine. Weave them into your daily practice. Shadow journaling in morning, strategic assessment at noon, metta practice in evening, stoic review before sleep. The quiet revolution isn't loud. It's the sound of you trusting yourself again. It's the feeling of walking away from confusion toward clarity. It's the strength to be alone rather than tolerated. It's choosing connection over attachment, awareness over reaction, virtue over validation. Fire lit, hit like, subscribe. Share this with someone navigating their own trickster maze. Comment your biggest insight from the Fab Four. Which wisdom struck deepest? Tag that friend who needs this right now. Let's build the community of untrickables, the ones who faced shadow and strategy, released attachment, and forged virtue. Remember, the trickster only wins if you forget who you are. And now, you remember, you're the hero of this story, the one Jung believed in, Machiavelli trained, Buddha freed, and Marcus forged. Go forth unbreakable.